Hello and welcome to Go Ask Sawyer, New Year's Eve edition. Last year, New Year's, I sat down and I had found some sort of guided reflection and I could not find it again this year. And I was looking all over for different things to do to kind of wrap up my year and reflect, and I couldn't find exactly what I was looking for. So I thought, what if I just create something for the end of the year and share it with friends and family and the 8 extra listeners that I have. And that way, if you're also looking for a way to reflect on your year and journal and kind of really celebrate you, here you go. Here's a podcast for that. And you can share it with your friends, which is really helpful. So just to introduce myself, my name is Jamie. Last name is Sawyer. Go Ask Sawyer was born in November of 2022 on a scratch sheet of paper while I was in Colorado visiting my oldest son. And I thought it would be a great place for people to share stories and lessons and just even inner thoughts. I have found recently just the way that I think sometimes sharing it with other people, it makes people realize that we are not alone. Like, oh, I have those same thoughts too, or, oh, this didn't seem to bother you, and I realize it does bother you. It's a way to connect when we kind of feel alone in the world. So that's kind of my intention around this podcast, is to just have it be a safe space to share stories, to share ideas and lessons, because we can never be amazing and great and wonderful if we don't go through some really hard times and some really hard lessons and learn from them. And I have a lot because I like to step in it. I went for a walk yesterday with a friend, and we were talking about how she was saying how she's always looking on the ground so she doesn't step in shit, right? Like goose poop or dog poop or cats, I don't know, whatever is out there, or even just like garbage. And she's like, you're always just walking, not even paying attention. And like, there's 2 different really great things to that, right? Like I said to her, well, then if you want to create an analogy out of this, you're always looking down, worried about stepping in shit, not paying attention to all the beautiful scenery and amazingness that's in front of you. And she said, yeah, well, you're always looking at the scenery and just not even caring if you're stepping in shit. And so I think there's 2 really great things to look at with that. One, maybe that's a pessimistic, optimistic way of looking at life, right? Like me thinking I might step in it, I might not, but I want to pay attention to what's in front of me. And then someone else always looking for it, kind of like seeing the glass half full or the glass half empty. And I just thought that was really interesting because I have stepped in my fair share of shit this year and throughout the years. And sometimes I forget to look at the lessons that I've learned from it. So I kind of rambled there. I apologize, but I thought it was a really great analogy. And next time you go for a walk, pay attention to where you're looking. Are you looking on the ground? Or are you looking in front of you? Okay, so we're going to start out pulling a card because I just kind of want to have some intention, and maybe someone needs a card pulled today. They're looking for a sign. I'm pulling from the Shaman's Dream Oracle. I really love this deck by Alberto Villoldo and Colette Baron Reed. I just really, again, this is not a telling the future. This is not anything of that sort. Sometimes it sticks, sometimes it does not, but almost always the truth is inside you. The need, the want is inside you, and it's just a matter of time before you realize it. So I've knocked on my deck, I've shuffled my deck, I'm quietly shuffling as I'm talking so you're not like, oh, what is that noise in the background? And I'm just going to go ahead and cut. Sometimes I wait for something to come flying out, but for this time and sake, we're just going to go ahead and cut. Cut once, twice, pull the top card. Stranger Curiosity. This is an absolutely gorgeous card. A little bit of dark and light to it. There's darkness with like fireflies in the darkness, and then there's light with wings. A very beautiful lake kind of in front of you. So the card is 53. It's called Stranger. Curiosity is right under it. And it says the other. Moving past fear of differences, curiosity, and acceptance. I know moving into 2024, for, like, just even looking at values, right? Like, acceptance is such a huge value I look for in other people and in myself. Acceptance of flaws, acceptance of who you are at your core and everything that makes you you, so you never have to dim for anyone else or take a step down or back. So let's see what it said. The stranger moves through the world in a shroud of darkness that often elicits fear, rejection, and uncertainty as the danger of the unknown defines its very presence. Yes, there is a veil of separation between you, but closer and summon the courage to remain open to what you might find. You may be conditioned to look only for what mirrors what is safe and known to you, refusing to entertain any concept of other beyond something to fear. In order to broaden your world and your experience of it, you must refute the illusion that sameness is the only way. Nothing you expect externally matches up with the other, and you're challenged by your own inexperience. But don't miss this opportunity of learning. Something extraordinary is being offered to you now if you remain curious and teachable. Allow the newness to envelop you as you explore the possibilities. This is a departure from your expectations, but the stranger has come to invite you to dance to a new music, a new tempo, a new sensation that will all add more dimension to you and what you create as a result. Now is the time to leave room for other points of view, other ways of seeing with humility and grace. This is a defining moment. Take the risk. Life is like a precious diamond with many facets, not just one. What an amazing card to pull on the last day of the new year, the last day of 2023. What is today? 123, 123. We are closing a 7th year of karmic lessons. 2024 is a multiple of 7. So I had read about, like, from 2016 to 2023. If I'm wrong on a year, please don't tell me, just fix it. But these last 7 years, right, we've been in some sort of a karmic lesson. We're going up and down, and it's restarting. So we're walking into a new 7-year lesson, a new 7-year event, a new 7-year start. And what a great card to pull on that last day. This is a defining moment. Take the risk. How many of us are sitting still worried that if we take the risk of something unknown to us, it's going to blow up in our face? We're worried that if we try something we have never tried before and it doesn't work out, is that going to make us look like a failure? Is that going to make us look weak? But actually, again, like my last podcast about the incline, the fact that we're really willing to put ourselves out there, the fact that we're willing to take the risk, try something different, sets us aside from so many people who are just not even willing to take the risk. I saw something the other day about sometimes you need to get lost to find what you didn't even know you were looking for. That is how I kind of see risk into the unknown. Sometimes there is something that's supposed to be in our life, a person, an event, a corner, a turn. But because we're so unwilling to get lost, because we're scared of the unknown, we aren't even willing to make the turn. What glorious, amazing things can be around there that we don't even know are there. So without further ado, let's get curious of what our last year looked like. When you can, use the rest of this podcast to start and pause as needed. You'll need a notebook or something to write stuff down. The first thing I want you to start with is just asking yourself, what was beautiful in 2023? What was beautiful in 2023? Just pause here and make a list of everything that you thought was beautiful in 2023. The next thing you're going to do is write down anything that was hard. Thinking back to situations that you had been in 2023. What things did you go through that were really hard, that made you cry, that made you frustrated, that made you angry? Make a list of those things. After you're done with making that list, write down a list of people in 2023 that showed up for you. And this can be in so many different ways. This can be showed up for you emotionally. Maybe they just checked in on you. Who showed up for you physically? Who showed up for you that you were not expecting to show up for you? So these list of people, like as you write their names down, should bring a smile to your face, should bring kind of a warmness to your heart. Those are the people I just want you to reflect on that really showed up for you. Maybe when you were down, maybe when you were happy, maybe when you didn't even know you needed someone. You are welcome to jot maybe reasons why next to each person, or just make the list. pause here. All right, the next thing I want you to do is write down, you're going to set a timer for 1 minute, 2:22 as I look at my clock. Set a timer for 1 minute, and you are going to write down every single thing you are grateful for. 1 minute. Do not stop writing, even if you say, I'm grateful for my couch. I am grateful for my clean sheets. You are going to take 1 minute and write every single thing down that you are grateful for. Set that timer, hit pause, and get to work. All right, doesn't that feel good to look back at that list? And maybe that timer went out and you wanted to keep going. I hope you kept going. All right, the next two are going to be a little bit more difficult. Take a deep breath. And I want you to think of a really hard lesson that you had to face this last year in 2023. Maybe it's something about yourself. Maybe it's a pattern that you're like, doggone it, I'm still doing it. Do not judge yourself for this lesson. Let it come, write it down, and let it be. After you write down your hard lesson, I want you to write down a few things you're going to release from that lesson. Maybe you're releasing pleasing other people. Maybe you are going to release an idea that you're a bad person. Maybe you are going to release the idea that you can't. Whatever it is you are going to release, I would say try to write down 2 to 3 things you're going to release. So, what is a hard lesson that you have to face, had to face, are facing in 2023? And what are 2 to 3 things you are going to release? Go ahead and press pause. All right, we have 2 things left. 2 things left. Number 1, what are some ideas or actions that you want to bring into 2024? What are some ideas or actions? You may have one. Maybe your one action is you are going to start moving every day, whether that's stretching, yoga, going for a walk. Maybe that's 5 minutes of movement, whatever that is. I'm giving an example. My bringing into 2024 is more boundary setting, more events that are frictionless, more travel, lean into nature. And I also want to bring in learning how to not run away. I have this tendency of when I hold things in too long and then I explode and then I run as fast as I don't know how to sit with uncertainty. I get really uncomfortable with sitting with the unknown. And I want to bring in to 2024 kind of like space for myself to be able to speak truth more often and stick with it. I also have a tendency to backpedal. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. I didn't mean to say that. I didn't mean to do this. When in reality, maybe I did. It just came out as an overcorrection, right? Like I did a little bit too much. There was truth to it, but I did too much. So I kind of want to bring that in. I'm not sure how that's going to look, but that's just an example. Go ahead and press pause. All right, welcome back. I paused myself, which is funny because I don't need to do that. The last thing I want you to do in your journal is just write down every month, starting from last January. So January, February, March, April, May, all the way through December. I want you to write down one awesome thing that you can remember that happened that month. Maybe you traveled, went camping, went to dinner with friends, whatever it is. Write down January through December and write down at least one awesome thing or one thing that just kind of brought joy to your heart from each of those months. If you're sitting here like, I do not remember what happened, scroll back through your phone. I guarantee you have pictures from every single month. Scroll back through your phone and really look at each of those months and just write down one awesome thing. If you have more, please write more. But for now, just write one. Go ahead and do that. The last thing I want you to do after you have done all of your months is go back through just look at them and either circle or highlight things that you're like, wow, this is so amazing. This is so wonderful. And just think about what is a theme that you could come up with from 2023. I know my theme, I feel like this year is something around rebirth or grounding, something between those two. And that's just from everything that I have written down. After you have done all this, I just want you to reflect on looking at everything you wrote down on that page. Everything from what was beautiful to what was hard, to the people that showed up in your life, what you're grateful for, maybe what a hard lesson was, what you want to bring in to 2024. And then look back at those months and just Look at how great things really are, how wonderful things are. Sitting in this dark time right now can really suck all the life and energy out of you. And I think it's so important to look back and think like, wow, even when things were hard, they were really beautiful. Even when things seemed quiet, they were so peaceful and beautiful. Even when I was in such uncertainty, there was actually certainty all around. So I hope this helped a little bit, maybe one or two people reflect back on their year and just think about how great things really were, even when we weren't sure. Every year is a chance to learn something new. And again, we're going to what do all the memes say? The ultimate Sunday reset. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, closing out a 7-year karmic turn of events, lessons, moving into something new. And remember, you have every single opportunity to restart at any single point in your life, to restart anything you want, to be someone different, to be someone new, to try something new. All right. Don't do too much. Continue sleeping, continue resting. Remember, we are still in a quiet, dark, cold period of the year. So don't get crazy on starting new things. Maybe just use this time to plant seeds. And when that sun starts to come out in that March, April time, you'll know when to launch. Don't be hard on yourself. Do not be cruel to yourself. Remember, there's too much hate in this world and anger and frustration. Choose the opposite. Choose love, choose peace, go with what brings you joy, and continue showing up for yourself. I appreciate you all being here. Have a wonderful New Year's. Get your sweatpants ready and your movie and your champagne or your tea or whatever it is you do, and just look around and celebrate because you are still here and you're still breathing and you are still wonderful. Peace out. See y'all soon.